What up? It is the 29th of May 2024 and it is currently 10:38 p.m. on a Wednesday, and that black rose is still not wilted yet. Well, considering how close it is to 11, actually first let's just check the notice board for fun. Maybe the spotlight item. Oh, the ivory piano, huh? Do I care about the ivory piano? That is the question. Ooh. That's going to be a no. Unfortunately, I don't care about the ivory piano. I simply just don't have the energy to care, you know? I don't have the energy to care about furniture I already own. I mean, what's the point, you know? I think it would be, you know, the spotlight items being so random is pretty annoying. Like, you know, I get it. It's a thing in real life, you know? It's a super sale. It's a special edition item as a one stock thing. But if there was more structure to it, I guess, then I would find it more appealing, I'd say, as a mechanic. Is this a bed? Pineapple bed. Oh, wait, no, yeah, I got the pineapple bed, didn't I? Yes, I recall Daisy gave me the pineapple bed in a characteristically good move, because Daisy is great. And she's still hanging around in Rolfton, so she's all good, as is Poncho. I got on my way to check, because, you know, they could try and move out, but I'm trying to play every day on that, just to do pretty basic dailies. It's nothing crazy. I'm there for maybe like 10 minutes at most now that I've got everything set up properly there. And so, you know, during my rounds, I just make sure to check up on the villages who I want to keep around, which for right now is just Poncho and Daisy. But actually, just recently, Victoria moved in to Rolfton, who lived here in Mateiio for quite a long time, and I thought, huh. And I'm almost certain that it's not Victoria from Mateiio. It's just Victoria, in the sense that, you know, if a villager moves to a town from someone else's town, they'll acknowledge the town they came from. They'll know the, you know, they'll know the people who from the old town still, and stuff like that. As far as I know, that Victoria does not, you know? It's just she doesn't have any of that. But I mean, I don't know, yeah, because I guess it could be, it's just, it doesn't seem like she is. I don't know. In fact, her room was like the default room as far as I can remember. I'm almost certain that it's not the Victoria who used to live here, but maybe I'm wrong, I guess. Maybe I'll have an update by tomorrow, clarifying whether or not that actually is the case, but I'm pretty sure. Oh, Sahara's here today. You know, I do fancy that. I almost wonder if it'd be more beneficial to wait for it to be 11 p.m. because Sahara's rounds are like, you know, they go everywhere. But if Nook's and the Able Sisters are closed, then you can't deliver to Nook or Mabel, so that would only leave Blathers and Pelly / Phyllis, but you might be able to do Blathers, Pelly, and Phyllis, I don't know. Huh? Oh, Bacon Bits, I've totally forgot what I was gonna say. Right. Yes, so I will... In fact, and, yeah, she won't leave until midnight, I believe. Only special visitors leave at midnight of whatever day they're visiting. Except for, like, Joan, because she visits during the morning. And I think the same applies to Lyle. Although I wouldn't really class him as a special visitor because, you know, there's not really much of value coming out from him, but still. He does visit, and he is special. I heard this really, really scary story, Ginger. Do you want to hear it? Tell me. Putting coffee into poached pears produces the flavor of Okay, is it flan or flan? I've heard both. I'm just gonna say I'm gonna say flan. Ew, it's so creepy and unnatural. Oh, poor cube. I've never had flan. I'm going with flan. Soft days kind of already work for my vernacular. Mini Lamentoid, huh? Do I need that? I don't think so. I don't get gyroids very often, or at least not anymore. In winter, it snows all the time. I think June is supposed to be a wet season, a wet month, because it's going to be summer, I guess. I don't know. So hopefully we'll get more rain, and by you know, having more rain, won't have to water as much, and we'll be seeing some more gyroids, because I mean, there's no chance I'm going to be getting many more gyroids if it's going at the rate that it is right now. Monique. I picked up a music box on the beach this morning, and I think it's broken because it doesn't play. Can you fix it? Yeah, you just tap it. Let's see. Hey, no matter what I do, it just won't play. Maybe it really is broken. What do you think? I only did that because last time I just went full force, punched it, so I kind of wanted to see what the other option was. That's what I like, is that even if you encounter the same dialogue, there's like dialogue trees that, you know, let you take the same dialogue in more interesting directions. I have a huge favor to ask. Would you deliver this to Marina, please? I'm in a huge hurry, so could you do it within 10 minutes, please? Awesome, here you go. Be good. The other thing is that, like, I guess it's kind of a mechanical solution. Like, oh, well, you responded one way the first time, so respond another way the second time, because then you get more responses, and therefore you get more writing and more game, which, you know, isn't the point. You know, the point is to experience it authentically, I suppose, and that's why the answers, you're allowed to provide your own answer, because it's meant to reflect your own sensibilities and stuff like that. But, you know, I mean, that's kind of the thing when you've got a game that's limited, because, you know, I mean, and every game is limited, obviously. You kind of have to treat it like that to get, you know, the most amount of fun of it. Like, yeah, sure, I could respond authentically to every single, you know, dialogue option, but I already know what the response is. And Marina does not like that orange tie-dye. I don't know, that's just my opinion on it. I've heard, you know, people have discussed the idea of, like, oh, what if, you know, they used AI to, you know, power an Animal Crossing game, so you have infinite dialogue, which the prospect sounds interesting. There's games that are using AI right now in some interesting ways. There's this one I was looking at just today where you're like a vampire, who's like trying to, because there's this thing with vampires where they, in some mythology, they have to be invited into a house before they're allowed to go in. I don't know why. I guess it's like a binding curse or whatever. And so that's the game. Oh, the goal of the game is to convince people you're not a vampire, and to let them, you know, into their houses so you can kill them. Which is an interesting premise for a game. And they have the thing with that, though, and this is my broader point, I guess, is that AI is powered by servers, because, you know, processing responses, like, you know, like such dynamic speaking models, language models, you know, that takes up a lot of processing power, which is processing power that a regular person's computer is not in the, like, you know, it's not in the scope, right? The scope, that's what I'm looking for, of handling such a thing. So, you know, AIs are obviously handled by servers. That's why you've got to be online for pretty much every single AI thing that you'll ever use. Which, you know, for the time being is probably how it's going to be for a while, unless, you know, the AI is super basic. It was awesome. Yeah, just like I thought. I played it safe, but I was pretty sure it'd pay off. Well, anyway, I want to thank you for your help. Any chance will 5:30 bells do? You know what? Yeah, sure, it will. I actually want to go back to the store, because I have a lot of stuff on me that I should sell before it closes up. Yeah, so what I'm saying with the AI stuff is that, like, it costs money to keep up those servers. So what Suck Up, I think that's the name of the game, that vampire game I was talking about, by the way, Suck Up is doing is they have this, like, token system where you buy the game, and with the game comes, like, a certain amount of, like, you know, tokens, that which they use as the word for interactions in the game. And so once you run out, the idea is that you support the game more, you pay for more interactions, therefore keeping the servers up with your contribution, basically. So it's kind of like, I mean, it kind of makes sense in the sense that it's kind of like you're, you know, paying a subscription for an AI, and that AI happens to be delivered to you through the context of a game. I just think that that kind of model is a little bit flawed in the sense that it's, well, for one, it's very easy for it to be, I guess, abused a little bit. In the case of this game, the vampire game, they're not hosted on Steam, and they say, like, oh, it's because we're not sure on their policies of AI stuff yet, which is fair. But what it means is, and because there's no, and as far as I know, you cannot, you know, get a refund policy. There's nothing on that at all. You know, they have the right to completely strip ownership of from you for, you know, these tokens, which are not a very viable, like, it's not a very viable spending model, because it's very you know, it's tied to these services working and this company being around. You know, I mean, even when certain game companies go out of business, their online games can still be kept up in certain ways. But this is fully directed by this company, both existing and offering these services. Which, you know, if Nintendo decided to do that for an Animal Crossing game, then they wouldn't have any problem, you know, not being bankrupt. They're doing pretty well with that at the moment. But the problem is that they'd have, you know, you can't make money off of a one-time purchase from every customer to pay off a, you know, continuous payment of keeping up, you know, millions of AI servers. It's just not very logical, and I don't think people would respond very well to the notion of having to pay continuously to play a game like Animal Crossing. At least, in my opinion. In these new threads, I look at least 5, no, maybe even 6 years younger. What do you think? Give it to me straight. Yeah, sure. I gave those to you, so I'm glad you think that way. So yeah, you know, I mean, this vampire game was talking about it, that, you know, one day these technologies might be viable to have hosted on your own devices, so that you can play these sorts of things, like use these sorts of things locally, and you don't have to rely on, you know, license keys and questionable ownership. But for now, I don't know. It's just sort of a risky business, which, I mean, that's why the game isn't being hosted on Steam or anything like that. Hello, Pango. Step 1. Buy furniture that looks unique but isn't really all that rare. Step 2. Hide all your junk and pretend it never existed. There you go, my foolproof strategy to fool the HRA. Basically. I clean my room periodically, but I won't usually commit to throwing stuff out as much as I'll commit to just finding places to put all of that stuff. In other words, I shove things in places even though they probably shouldn't be shoved in there. To put it less eloquently, I suppose. Yeah, but with AI, it's like I was pretty adamantly against it when it first arose, particularly in the art sphere, because of how, well, in my opinion, not creative it is, because it's taking away the like, I mean, artistic value of, well, art, and making it into a mechanical process, which I still agree with. I don't think AI art will ever, you know... Oh, Black Rose. I don't think AI art will ever come anywhere near the value of human actual art. And, as long as AI is trained off of data sets made by other people, other humans, which it is, because that's, how it knows us so well, then it's merely derivative, in my opinion. And you can make your argument that humans themselves uh, have a similar process where they take in other people's work and use it to inform their own work. But the reason why that actually, is why that's different is because when we interpret, other people's works and use them to inform our own work, we're resonating with those things. We're not just seeing it and, taking like notes on it on why this is effective and why this is good, because we're the audience, we're seeing it and we're appreciating it. Whereas an AI just wants you to basically think that it feels that way by it being able to identify these things the same way that we can. The long and short of it, AI is a novelty for many things. I think it's funny. I definitely think there's some funny stuff you can get out of AI. And I'm not gonna, if someone uses AI for something, I'm not gonna just criticize them right at the gate. But I think, especially in the art sphere, when people are trying to use AI fully, and that is their work that they're claiming as either claiming as their own or just claiming in general to be art, that's where I draw issue personally. And I mean, it's definitely a complex thing with a lot of questions as to what art is and all that stuff. But that's just kind of how I feel about it for the time being. Oh shoot, I was so into my workout, I forgot to mail that letter. Dang, hey, could you deliver this to Hugh right away? Yeah, sure thing. Oh, okay. Well, you know what? I've got a lot to do today with Sahara being around, so I might just save it. But yeah, so and and look, I have a little bit of disdain for the particular groups associated with the hype of AI. That being a lot of tech people who are very obsessed with mechanics and not mechanics the as profession, I guess mechanics the systems, and all technical jargon, who sort of, in my opinion, invade almost every single space, that including art, and sort of try to stake their claim into it, but using technology. And in the case of art, it generally doesn't understand the thing that it's trying to participate in. They come in and they do art in the most like straightforward problem solving way, which is fine for problems, but for art, I just don't really agree with that as the artistic process. I think art is about failure and about exploration, but more importantly, about a process. Whereas this AI stuff, for me, is more emphasizing getting to the point. There is iteration with AI, but that's because the AI doesn't always understand what you're trying to do, and that just means you have to change the wording of the prompt that you entered into a machine. That's not really iteration, that's just getting more specific until eventually you've got a perfectly, programmed version of the exact thing that you want to look at. And that's not art. Even art that is fully developed has imperfections, and that's kind of what makes it art. But I guess don't to get too far into that. I don't know. I mean, I try to be civilized about it because, like I said, it's nuanced. It's not like these AI people are rubbing their hands together hoping that they'll ruin the entire art world. And I definitely agree that there are things regarding the art world that are flawed, especially with valuing certain contemporary pieces that don't actually have very much true artistic value. But the thing is that it's all I don't know. It's all about intent to me, and when it comes down to malice, and these people are starting to feel like they're winning over, regular, actual artists. That's just when I feel like people, that's how you can tell it isn't just about, making a cool little image. It's about showing people up, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I guess I said I wasn't going to get too far into it, and all of this to say is, uh, I think AI can be used in good ways, and that's kind of with any technology. I mean, hell, the first technology, like fire, that's pretty much as early as you get when it comes to technology. Technology isn't just like gizmos, it's things that advance, it's things that advance a species, that develop it. And fire, yeah, that's pretty much the very first technology that exists, and well, what? It warms you, and it can also be used to burn things to the ground. It's pretty much something that you can see in every single piece of technology that exists. I suppose I'm playing on a Nintendo DS right now, so I don't know what you could say about that, but generally, I would say that every piece of technology can be used maliciously, and AI is no different from that, but I think it's going to be kind of about seeing the things that it's good at doing and sort of trying to maybe improve the things it's not as good at, or just realizing that, that's just not what it's for, and focusing your efforts on other things. Anyway, hey Brewster. Care for a cup of Java to pick you up? It's 200 bells. What blend would you like? Usual? Whatever you say. And it comes a hot cup of your favorite blend spoon. There we go. At the perfect temperature to bring it the flavor. 176 degrees. One fresh brewed cup. Drink up. Thanks, I will. Ah, that rich aroma, that bold taste. It penetrates my very soul. Yum. Just hit 11 p.m. Thanks. I think another thing with AI that bothers me is the non-tech people, or in I guess people trying to understand it, but making a very big sensationalist deal out of it. I'm mainly referring to the media, wherein now pretty much any technology that has some sort of function for assisting you, or just generally, sorry Marina, I'm ignoring you, assisting you, or just generally creating anything is seen as AI. A lot of things are now seen as AI when they're not AI. AI is artificial intelligence. It's something that oh, hold up. Closed road, huh? That is the final Sahara. Anything, right? That's the final Sahara. That's the final Sahara item. The closed road. I did choose it, right? Let me just make sure that I definitely choose the... Oh, let's look at it. Why not? Let's look at it. Enough for this AI crap. This is real, baby. The closed road carpet, this was made with human hands and on a computer. Look at this. It's so ugly. Oh wow, I actually do like how detailed this is. This could be nice if you had a really nice themed room to go along with it. Huh. I might make a construction room. How about it? Something to do in the future. But yeah, I'm probably gonna make that it then, because well, I don't need to play as any other characters to get the other Sahara things, because I've already got them all now. Wow, that's kind of crazy. So, for context, that leaves the only bit of wallpaper or flooring I need to get to be the forest wall and the forest floor, which you both get during the Acorn Festival, which is in October, first week of I think it's November. So it's pretty far away, but as far as I'm, concerned right now, I'm pretty much guaranteed to score those both this year, which means I'm going to complete wallpaper and flooring by the end of this year. In fact, well before the end of this year, or at least a month before. That is a really nice note to end this off. I guess I was being a bit of a bore with all my AI talk, but yeah, that definitely That's something to be excited about. That's something to look forward to. And you know, now Sahara is one of those visitors that I don't need to care about anymore. And that puts us at 1,199 catalog items. One away from 1,200. Yeah, well, that's going to be it for today, I reckon. Pretty good note to end off, if I do say so myself. So yeah,